Well, thanks for being here. And the weather today is helping out a little bit. The F-16 wishes we had blue skies so that you can take off and head straight for the moon with that airplane. But it's such an exciting show that you do in the F-16. How long have you been flying the airplane?
Larry, I've been flying this airplane for about 6.5 years now, almost 7, right about now.
Now, after you qualified in the airplane in 6.5, 7 years, I'm sure there's been some combat tours in that.
Yep, most recently deployed to Iraq supporting the joint fight, and was able to go over there and work with the Army, the Navy, all sorts of joint partners in that, and it was a tremendous experience. There's a lot of good work going on over there.
Well, now, the F-16 that you're flying here is a regular line F-16. It's not a special airplane?
It's a good point. That's one of the great things about the Air Combat Command Tactical Demonstration Program is the aircraft that you see here on the flight line, they are combat-ready aircraft. I mean, in a matter of 3 hours, our maintenance team can reconfigure this and load up the munitions that's needed to go, and it'll be downrange on its way. It's ready to go. It's not a stun aircraft. It's not got weight reduced from it. It is a full-up frontline fighter, and it's ready to go if needed. It just takes a few hours to reconfigure.
Well, now, that's a point that I want to talk to as I tell people to give a wave and a round of applause to Charlie Schwenker as he's taxiing down in front of you. Great performance by Charlie Schwenker. Thank you. You folks down there to the left, Charlie will be there in just a moment. So give him a wave and a round of applause as he taxis by. We were talking about the capabilities of the F-16 as far as what you can put on that. There's so many different weapons that you can put on there. Now, do you, even though you're the demonstration pilot, do you have to stay qualified on all those weapons?
I do, and you know, we have a pretty robust show season, so when I get home, I'm usually home about 2 to 3 days a week. I'm always trying to get back into the vault and study and learn the new things, because, you know, stuff changes. We learn a lot about this airplane. It's been around for a while, but we're constantly making it better, learning how to employ it more effectively, and it really keeps you busy. The way I kind of describe it is most your average F-16 pilot, by the time they're mission qualified, they have a master's degree in how to fly the aircraft and employ it tactically. And then the longer you're in it, you know, that knowledge obviously increases. So,
well, the next time I see you, I'll shake your hand and I'll say, Doctor, how are you doing these days?
No, I'm not that smart, but I'm desperately trying to get there, and it is a learning man's game. You cannot sit back on your heels and just think, okay, I'm an F-16 pilot, or I'm an A-10 pilot, or even a C-5 pilot, and think that you can get away with just being that and not constantly improving.
Well, now, when you talk about working in support of the Army, as well as the Air Force and the Navy, that involves different weapons systems, does it not?
Absolutely. We're all working in that joint environment now, so we're really doing a lot of work trying to get the vocabulary the same, so when I say something, they instantaneously know what it means, and we get that common language barrier in there with the things that we're doing. And really what that is it's at the end of the day, it becomes this huge force multiplier where we can go out and we can execute much more efficiently than we would if we were trying to do our separate things.
Well, that's good to hear. You're going to be lighting up the afterburner on the F-16 when you take off, and that turn that you make away from the crowd is spectacular. We'll hope that everybody is watching when that happens. We have another event that's going to happen right now in just about 30 seconds from now. That's another afterburning jet engine, only that one is mounted on a little Chevy pickup truck.
That's right. I need to talk to him and see if I can get him to do that to mine, but I really would like to race this guy. I think he might have me on the get-go from the takeoff, but I think once I get the wheels up, I might have a chance of beating him.
Well, you blow by here at about 650 miles an hour, and that's what, half the speed of the F-16?
It is. It's pretty much an airplane that's built around the motor. It'll go straight up if you take the wings off of it like a rocket. It's a really impressive ride, and you know, it's a 9G capable airframe. I was watching Charlie fly. He's got 10 Gs on it, and you know, it's pretty impressive. You got to be in shape for that. But the thing about the Viper is it'll sustain it and it'll hold it for a while.
We'll get a chance to watch you do that. You're going to make a high G level turn out here for us, and you enter that at what, about 450 knots?
It's right at about 400 knots for the entry on that, and then you know, you pull basically on the limiter the entire time, and the motor is so powerful that if you're not careful and you're not pulling as many Gs as you can, it'll actually accelerate there. The highest G maneuvers in the profile are actually repositions off the end of the runway, though. So from start to takeoff, the way I tell people, it feels like running 440-meter sprints. It's a sprint right out the door. It lasts about 15 minutes.
You do a maneuver called the the Falcon Turn and the Shark's Tooth. Looks to me, as a pilot, there's some heavy G loading going on in that.
Yeah, I get out of the airplane at the end of this 15-minute show, and I'm pretty tired. We put it all out there, and we want to really show you what the airplane is capable of doing.
Before I let you go, you used a term that you're pulling on the limiter. What are we talking about? What's a limiter?
Well, the F-16 is mech'd a little bit different with the flight control system. In a conventional aircraft, you pull back on the stick, and depending on your airspeed, as a pilot, you have to know what the capabilities of the jet are. If you pull too hard, you break things in the airplane. Well, the F-16, you just roll and pull as hard as you can, and the airplane, the flight control computer will keep you from overstressing the aircraft and instantaneously give you the maximum performance that you can get.
Without hurting the airplane. So when if you were in a dogfight in air-to-air combat, you'd be watching the enemy out there. You don't have to think about manifold pressures and those kind of things back in the Mustang days. You just do whatever you need to do to keep your eyeballs and keep your weapon, your airplane, pointed where it needs to be. Is that what you're saying? And the computer will let you do whatever you can do?
Yep, the computer will stop you if you pull too many G's, and basically you just got to roll point and just pull as hard as you can to get there. And that big motor, coupled with that very rapid flight control system, and then the helmet-mounted cueing system that we wear, makes bad guys go away quickly.
Well, we'll talk in just a second about the helmet-mounted cueing system. Now, has anybody done anything with this airplane to make it fun to fly?
Every time I go fly, things happen so fast. You kind of get in the jet and you go, this is pretty cool. But when you're actually out there flying, you're so busy, it's tough to just look outside and enjoy things. But I tell you, every single time I get out of the airplane and I'm walking away, it's like parking a nice car in a parking lot. You look back at it and you go, man, that was really cool. I don't know what just happened, but I'm glad I got to do it.
Yeah, really cool. That was, it must be every day you look at, you're going to shave and you're going to go, I am going to have so much fun today. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's been a blessing, and it's a humbling feeling to work with the guys that maintain the airplanes and our team. You know, you'll see them walking around the show here. Come up and talk to them. They're very knowledgeable. These guys, true professionals.
And the 17, 18-year-olds that are out here in the crowd right now, they can do this too, right?
Absolutely. I was in third grade when I saw my first air show. My uncle was a Thunderbird solo, and I got to see that show, and I said, one of these days I want to do that. And then in college, I saw the Viper East TAC demo pilot fly when I was a sophomore, and I go, okay, maybe it's time for me to start paying attention in school. And here you go.
As a pilot, 45 years of flying and getting paid to do it, I can share a little bit of your experience, because I just used to sit there in whatever airplane it is, and sometimes I would just laugh to myself of being so fortunate to be able to do this. And people can approach your team here and talk to you about joining the Air Force and actually doing this?
That's why we're here. It's a small footprint. We have a bunch of guys here. We've got 8 total people that are here. If you see us, ask us. That's why we're here. We're here for you. If you have questions, we want to tell you the Air Force story. We want to show you what your F-16 is capable of doing, and we just want to be able to talk with you and just kind of see where you're coming from. So come find us, and we'll be more than happy to chat with you.
Ryder, thanks so much for coming up to talk to us. I want to find out about that helmet cueing system that you're talking about. I know what it is, but I want you to tell them about it. Magnificent system. Thank you so much. Okay, well, Tim, I think you about